Welcome to the Unfiltered Doll, baby, where we do a little bit of cussing around here. So your parental advisory has been advised. Also, baby, listen, we may have some bad opinions and whatever it is that you're going through. If you feel triggered, baby, just remember we're not talking about you. We're talking about the people on the screen. Hey, happy Monday. How is everybody feeling today? Let me know if you can hear me, babies. It doesn't look like you can, but let me come over here and see what y'all saying, if you can hear me or not. Hey, y'all, happy Monday. Let me type in this chat here. I'm going to repeat. Toddy Jackson, Diddy's Baby Oil, Sunflower, Babe Tea, Petty Patty, El Cid, Real. How y'all doing? How's everybody doing, y'all? Oh, thank you so much, Toddy Baby. Having trouble connecting. What the hell is going on here? I think I'm having, what the hell is going on? You can hear me. Okay, good. It's saying I'm having some trouble connecting, baby. I don't know what's been going on in this neck of the woods when it comes to my laptop here in my office. In my house, baby. It's just me in my sunroom. I didn't turn the sunroom into the office. I don't want y'all to think I'm too fancy. I don't want y'all to think I'm fancy, honey. It's just the sunroom. How the hell is everybody doing? How was your weekend? Did you do something fun? Tell me all about it. Y'all know I am working at the same time. Listen, I'm working at the same time, baby. Good morning. Listening in on my way to work. You have a beautiful day as well, Dr. Charles. Yes, indeedy. Baby, what's tea? Now, why didn't y'all tell me about the Facebook? Because y'all know I don't be on the Facebook. But in order to get content, honey, and in order to be in people's business, you have to have a Facebook. And if I'm too loud, baby, turn your volume down, sugar. Okay, April B, welcome on in, sugar. Why didn't y'all tell me about the Are We Dating the Same Man situation down there on the Facebooks? Are any of you part of this group? See, I feel like, especially after talking about Nesto for so long, and I didn't even want to say his name, but I have to. I would think that this is something that we would have discussed by now, because the women are out here getting scammed by all sorts of Nestos out here. Okay, these men are out here creating websites, social media groups, and pages, and baby, it's a lot going on out here. You're in the group, Diddy, you ain't never said nothing in the comments about it. No, you have not. I did sign up for the local one here, baby. I ain't gonna lie to you, because I'm that type of nosy, and you just never know, right? So, girls, yeah, Patty, I hate Facebook. Can I be honest? I hate it. But in order to cover a lot of the stories, hey, Miss D, baby, how you doing? Especially when it's coming to when it comes to relationships, situationships, people exposing infidelity, and all sorts of things, right? When it comes to all of that, you have to be on Facebook as a content creator to get the tea, baby. And if you don't want to gossip per se about celebrities, Facebook is where you need to be at, because see, there's a lot of people, sharing what's going on your local news in different cities, of course, in states. So it's just required to have a Facebook, especially if I want to continue with YouTube, right? Nesto, and I keep saying this because I want to remind everybody, Nesto, this story ain't gonna be here forever. So since I made the mistake of just doing Nesto content only when I first started, I have to switch out my algorithm. Okay, so I just got to take the hit, all right, with the views until it works itself out, play around with some keywords and things. Y'all probably don't know what I'm talking about if you don't have a YouTube channel, but there's a few things that I have to do. And I just want to say thank y'all in advance for hanging out with me, still engaging with me, because sometimes I'm not going to be covering what you're looking for from me. We will get back to it. Don't get me wrong, but I need about a week or two. I'll talk about Nesto in between, but I need about a good week or two just to like kind of shake up my algorithm. And so far it's working because I'm starting to see other content creators that I didn't even know existed. With YouTube, you're always going to see somebody you didn't know that was in existence with a big channel at that. But I'm starting to get more things that are going to pop up on my algorithm now. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, you guys, when it comes to that. I truly appreciate you all. Now, we talk often in the chat. Well, you all talk often when we are talking about Nesto, just, since we're more familiar with him and the situation of him, he's a swindler, a scammer, and he's low down, right? But we often wonder, how was he getting away with it? Now I know we ain't got no damn meeting. Hold on, y'all. What's going on here? Oh, Jesus. What are they saying in here? Oh, she accidentally. Okay. I'm about to say, I know good and damn well we don't have a meeting today. Often people say they double handcuffs. Hey, baby, welcome on in. They say, well, you got to do a background check. Okay. And so he's not a criminal. That doesn't mean that he's not a low down, filth-flooring, filthy dog. So you can do a background check. What if he hasn't been caught yet? All right. You can do a Google search. What if he has everything set up that when you do that Google search and he gives you his name or somebody else's name, everything that you see is going to be in his favor, right? If he has all his social media pages on private, you're not going to get much from his social media. So there's that. But a lot of these men and some women, they're out here living a fake life on the internet, on the Facebook, on the TikToks, on the Instagram, hell, even on the YouTube. So it's just like you see shiny things and you see this presentation from this stranger that you want to involve yourself with, you want to involve yourself with this man. The background check is not enough. So they have these Facebook groups called Are We Dating the Same Man? They have a general one, and then they have spin-off groups or affiliates, if you will, of different groups for different city and states. So what happens is they have a rule. You post a picture of whomever you want information on in these groups. Now, some have strict rules. You can post the picture. You don't say anything about him in the actual original post. You do all of your talking in the comments. So you post a picture. It could be of your man, your cousin, your brother, your uncle, your granddaddy, your husband, your man, whomever, somebody that you want to date. Now, some people, I feel like if you're just meeting somebody, if you're trying to get all up into that man's business, okay, cool. But some, it's just like, baby, now you already knew what it was just based off of the picture. And yes, I'm judging a book by its cover. All right. So I feel like, especially for women of a mature age, right? You might want to post Johnny's old ass on here, not calling us old. We said Johnny's old ass, just because he can't get it up and he got to take Viagra to make you, squirm a little bit. That doesn't mean that he ain't out here causing some issues with other women. Okay. So let's just get into what it's all about. And then I want to share something old with you that happened with a fella that got, baby, they tore his ass up on that Facebook group, and he decided to sue. Baby, he got caught up and said, I'm going to sue their asses. So I don't know if you heard about this white man or not. I don't mean to call race, but it is what it is. He is a white man. And see, sometimes you got to F around and find out, because some people who got that money, they'll be willing to take you to court if they feel like they can win. But I don't think it went in his favor. So let's just get into a little bit of, let me see if I have the picture that I want to upload, just so I can show you an example. If you're not familiar, I want to show you the example of how these posts work and what the girls are out here doing. But, trying to find out if they're messing with somebody low down and dirty, or if they just want to expose somebody they just broke up with, like trying to let other women know, hey, here's the deets on him. So let me see if that picture is uploaded yet. Give me 1 second. The Duchess, welcome on in. Would you say he's a swindler, scandalizer, and not a doo-doo? What is a diddy? ditto. What's that, baby? Some of them, you can't talk about the person's looks, but they look homeless, bums, and I need to understand why the person who posted didn't see that. Yes, that's another one. The one I joined, you are not allowed to talk about the book cover, baby. You cannot talk about the person on the screen. No, you cannot. Honey, say that. The favorite one. Welcome on in, y'all. How you doing? You cannot talk about them. So if they post twins mom 14, hey, baby. So if that man is looking like he's looking, baby, dildo. Oh, girl, you'd have made me say it real. So if he's looking like he's looking, they have a rule. You are not allowed to attack the man, because I think what they're trying to do is definitely protect their property just in case they have a situation like this man that I'm going to share with you in California when he sued, I believe, up to 50 women. Hey, dog, I watched Law and Crime, and they were covering the judge and the guy she pow. Oh, Silver Fox is fine. They had pics of them, and he looks good. He definitely gives player vibes. For sure. Definitely giving player vibes. Hold on one second. Hey, baby, you about to leave back out? You about to leave back out? Okay. What time do you have to go to baseball? What time is the game? Huh? Who? Is it home? You got a game. Kate, sorry, y'all. I got kids. You got a game. Kate got to track me. I don't know how all of this is going to work today. Lord have mercy. Yeah, it's no fun to talk about the cover as long as you're respectful. Yeah. So, hey, China from the bushes. Hey, baby, how you doing? So, honey, let's get into this picture right here. Now, I don't know this person from a can of paint. I just want to show you an example if you don't know about the groups for Always, Forever, for Life. Did I say hi to you, baby? Welcome on in. Let me show y'all the picture, okay, how it works. So, exhibit. Is this an exhibit? Why can't we see it? Oh. So, right here, we got Justin. So this lady is posting her ex-husband. I don't know. Is Justin a husband? Caught him cheat. Who knows? He might be a baby daddy, a husband. Who gives a damn? And she's let you know, this is my, husband. This is my husband, Justin. Just know he loves messaging other women on Facebook and TikTok. He is also on Tinder. He left a few nights ago after I caught him cheating again. I am pregnant and lost one of our babies at 16 weeks pregnant with girl and boy twins. I'm now 22 weeks with just the girl. He left while I was at work. This is the last thing he said to me. So Justin says to her, if you can't see, good luck with your effed up pregnancy and your effed up family. And she says to him, thank you. Also, Willow is perfect. And if you ever want to see her, I will let you. I will never keep her from you. So basically, they're just, exposing different men, protecting other women so they don't have to go through the same situation, or it's women posting men wanting to know, hey, does anybody know anything about Kenneth here? Okay, so I think my algorithm is doing its thing, because after Juju D, hey baby, welcome on in. Chocolate, hey honey, how you doing? I think my algorithm is doing a thing, because after we talked about the engagement swindler, which I got some tea on that as well. You probably already heard the tea, but it's just crazy. Let's get into him real quick, y'all. Y'all got to be careful. If you are single out here, hell, even if you're married or with somebody, because see, I don't even trust human beings anymore. I don't even trust the turn signals on my car, to be quite honest with you, because there's just too much going on. Okay. So let's get into him real quick and his crazy self. Look at this man here, y'all. Where's the pictures at? Oh, I didn't upload them. Let me just show this real quick clip, and then we're going to get into that on another live. But let me, the number one question women like to say when somebody is telling their story, well, how did you fall for that? What did you see in him? Y'all aren't even equally yoked. Oh my God. Well, let's get into a little bit of that really quick. Okay. Is this here? Let's see his charm and personality. Okay. I'm so know where I'm going at. If you weren't in my live on Saturday, or was that Sunday? Who gives a damn? If you weren't, yesterday. If you weren't in my live yesterday, this is just a quick intro.
I know the man in this video, and when I met him, he told me his name was Caleb.
Hey yo, I'm here to tell you, if you saw that viral video of that light-skinned nigga with them fake-ass dreads proposing to his lady at the Tyler, the Creator concert in Atlanta, yeah, that nigga's still married.
I am the engagement swindler's wife.
It's our daughter who's crying because she can't say goodbye to these women.
If I told you that I started out the beginning of this year engaged to who I thought was the love of my life, only to find out that he just announced that he's expecting a baby with the bitch that he cheated on me with.
So this is what we discussed in yesterday's live, okay? And I was a little rough on her, I was. Now that I'm involved and I'm pulling all of the, all of the details and all of the tea. Now, this story has been viral for a couple of weeks now. We're just now getting into it, and we will be talking about this because there's so many similarities to what we've already been talking about when it comes to the Nesto, Shirley Strawberry, the different victims that are mentioned throughout his paperwork. And baby, I'm going to tell you, these men are out here putting on a full-blown show. And if you are somebody who does not spend their time on social media, maybe you lived a sheltered life, maybe you just don't know, it's so important that you're paying attention to the different signs, okay? So let me show you one more thing about that story as well. And then, like I said, we're going to do a separate live for that because I really don't have much time to get through all of that today. It's a lot, you guys, a lot. And what I've been doing is editing the main character. Yes, I called her a character because, baby, it's a whole lot. Her name is Millie. Millie is the last woman to deal with him before this viral engagement came out. And she has a lot of story times, and she is long in the wind, but this is the first time for her getting on social media, telling her story. So, I was judgmental. She's really, really nice, really, really nice, but you can tell she's somebody that she's naive, and you can tell that a man will pick up on that and take advantage of her is what I'll say. Very long in the wind. So I took a lot of her videos, different parts of it, to edit some of her pausing so that we can just get right into it, right? But let me show you what she was dating and who she was dating so you can just understand what exactly is going on and how this man shows up for these women and why he plays the games he's playing.
I'm still pacing, y'all. Still pacing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some like stupidish that he used to do. So you guys can kind of see like how his personality is, why he's like so charming and all that stuff. Just some random things when we first started dating. Yeah, just so you guys get a little window of like, who is Byron Hopkins? Man, Byron, you wanted to be famous, sir. Look at, talk about the red carpet. We finna have a red carpet, all right. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I am so, yeah. Yes. In due time. Yes. Enjoy, y'all.
We're in the snow. You can't even see her. Look at that. We're in the snow. It's beautiful down here, though. We in the snow. It's snowing. Wow. Got the Mandalorian in there. Woo, it's cold.
Oh, damn, I'm doing a video. I can't just take a picture. It won't capture all of this.
Damn, girl. Shit.
it. Okay.
Someone to get, someone to share. Lonely hour here, there, to be loved, to be loved. Oh, what a feeling to be loved.
I'm a lightweight there.
You can't finish that one glass of wine? Finish that one glass of wine. Oh, you gotta take it back? Oh, look at her. This is one glass, guys. This is one glass. Just one. Just one. Come on. Do. Hey.
So I'm surprising my baby just because we're in West Hollywood.
Our Lord's dead.
Yeah. Baby.
I'm gonna be on one of these times.
So that's where we're going, to Pantages. And what is playing?
Oh, you got Hamilton's For real?
Yes.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
He knows all the songs. He plays the soundtracks in the car and I have to listen to it.
Ready for me to sing every
He knows
song
every
loudly?
song, every word.
Loudly?
Loves Hamilton. So I managed to snag some tickets
How?
because it's going to be done touring
Oh,
within
you're
a
the
couple of
best.
days.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
I'm
the
the best. Look at that. Oh, me?
Yes.
I'm the
singing
best
every
thing.
song so loud. So loud.
I love you.
Love you. What's going on, bro?
So if you ever wanted a window into relationships, once women start telling their story, I love that she did that. I love that she shared those intimate moments, because some of us, we are sitting on the outside probably thinking, oh, he seemed like he a little sassy and sweet, right? But here's the thing. If you're like a hopeless romantic and you're following these people, you're like, oh, look at my girl Millie, she's looking happy, she got her a good old man Savannah. Some of us are just like, child, you know what I'm saying? But this is how she was on top of a cloud dealing with this clown. Okay, now someone in the comments says something about, didn't she give him a car? That is because of her story time. But in the beginning of the situation and the relationship, he had a car. What she didn't know, that it was her car. Let me show you whose car it was. Oh shit, do I not have her video here? Let me see. Let me play him really quick. Let me see. Let me get you the video. It was Paige. It's God, Lord have mercy. Here. It was her car, the fiance. Meet Paige. This is the fiance that he was with, not the one in the video that he's proposing to. This is who he was with. And he left his fiance after they were planning their wedding. They had their wedding date set. They had to change the wedding date because this was during the pandemic. He met Millie in her vehicle, in her Audi. Okay. And that's why she thought, he got the websites going. He's telling an amazing story. This is the fiance. She had no idea about the fiance. This is Sinbad's daughter, the comedian Sinbad. This is his daughter. During the pandemic, when he was traveling to Millie's house, they live in California, and he would travel 2 hours to her house during the pandemic. He was actually living with Paige and her family, her mom, her dad, their family. They all decided to quarantine with one another. So, baby, he was living a good old funky, soft life, living with a celebrity's daughter, all in the same home. And then at the same time, he's still married to her. Now they're not together. They were separated, but he was still married. This is Paige, Sinbad's daughter, the same woman we're talking about. But the whole time he's married to her. I said I wasn't going to get into it, but we are already here.
Okay, so boom. I have the post and I noticed.
This is his current wife. They are separated. All right. And just to give you a head start, he stole their daughter. He has custody of their daughter, and Millie is the one who helped him get custody of their daughter. She lives in Colorado. Okay. I don't know if she already moved to California or not, but let's just hear a little bit of her story. It is a little long, and it's not the whole story, but I just want I want to unlock some of the characters for you.
Okay, so boom. I have the post and I noticed this account at Lala is kind of making some flagrant comments, right? Which I had never came into this expecting that everybody was just going to be okay with my story or be okay with me or whatever, right? Like, I get it. So when I started seeing the comments come in, it was just different because, I mean, truthfully, since this has started, that's all I have been shown. Like, complete strangers are empowering me, are, praying for me, are sending me messages, they're rooting for me, and Byron is very, very good at making you feel alone. He is very, very good at making you feel like an idiot, like stupid, like all of these things. But he wants you to not reach out, to not have anybody. He really wants to just seclude you, right? So I was blessed when I started getting these great messages from everybody, right? Like, I have some pretty good people that I direct message on here, and they're good to me, right? They're really good to me. And they give me the confidence that I need to tell my story, because that's not what Byron wants. Byron wants me to be quiet. Byron doesn't want me to say anything. Byron thinks like, oh, I can push this narrative out and I'm going to sway everybody's thoughts and they're going to think of her how I want them to think of her. And I'll dive into that a little bit more as I continue to tell my story. But so I see this at Lala and at Mr. 404 something, right? Of course, I go to their pages. They have no view or no followers or anything like that. And let me tell you something. I'm an old gal, I am not TikTok savvy. I'm not social media savvy. I just kind of work and go home and, that's it. I'm quite boring, but I got on TikTok specifically for this. So I'm not very savvy with it. So y'all please forgive me, but I'm savvy enough to know that one picture, one this, one that, nonetheless. So I'm reading the messages and they're pretty flagrant. They're like, essentially saying, I met your daughter. I've talked to her before. You know what you've done. She tells everybody that, she meets, just all this crazy stuff, right? And my heart instantly starts racing, right? Because I knew this was going to come. I knew that at some point in time, he was going to say something, and I knew it was going to be directed towards me, right? Because he has the upper hand. I am his target. I have oddly been his target for a really long time now. And I have my thoughts on as to why, predominantly because I'm not smart enough like the other women. They're smart and they completely remove themselves from the situation. I grew up in a single parent household. I was raised by my father. He passed when I was 16, but my mom had not been in my life nonetheless. So it was always very important to me that my kids had their father. or father, whatever, right? Because one, it's important. Two, I get nothing out of holding a kid away from their father, unless it's like some crazy dangerous situation, which this was, and this is why I call myself stupid. There's no point. I don't get anything out of it. It does nothing but hurt the kid. I digress. I ramble, I'm sorry. So Lala's messaging. And so my chest starts to get tight. I'm starting to sweat. I instantly lose, like, not that I was hungry, but like you start to feel like your appetite's gone, right? Like I'm starting to shake my leg, and all of my trigger signs are like screaming at me, like danger, right? So I immediately screenshot it and I sent it to Camille and Paige. Again, I'm not super savvy with TikTok, so I'm like, what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. And, you know, they're not calm, cool, and collected, but I call Camille, she's like a stone cold killer. Like, she's just like very stoic, like very, you know, level-headed and stuff like that. So she immediately goes into like protection mode. Like, what are we gonna do? And so she's like, turn the comments off, delete that person and block them. And I didn't struggle with it, but I mean, I did to a certain extent, only because I didn't want to seem ungenuine, right? I didn't want to take away the ability for people to tell me their opinion or ask questions or anything, right? Like, I just felt like I was hiding again. And that's all I've done for the past 2 years. I've hidden because it's easier for me. It's easier for me to stay hidden. It's easier for me to just shrink away, right? It's just easier. So the comments. So I turned them off, and we obviously put 2 and 2 together that it's him. So this had kind of not told me, but it had kind of triggered me to recoil, backtrack, right? And I had a great therapy session with Camille and her therapist that I've spoken to before, because he was actually my daughter's therapist when she had her. It started off as, I believe it was Camille's therapist, and then they started to go to like family therapy, and then he would talk to my daughter as well. So he has a lot of insight. He's just, you know, he's a great man. Like, he's just really extended a hand to me through this process when not a lot of people had, right? Camille included. And I don't say that with any malice. I say that because I was Camille, you know? I was his first wife. Like, I was 7 months pregnant when his first wife reached out to me and popped my little bubble, right? And was like, no, we're married. Not only are we married, but Byron married his second wife while still being married to his first wife. I'm not lying. I can't make this up. Like, this is insane, right? And so she's telling me all of these things, his first wife. And I'm like, there's no way. Like, this is my knight in shining armor. Like, we're not having it. I was young and dumb, right? Knocked up. Did not in the slightest want to admit to myself that I fucked up, right? So I was just gonna thug it out. And she showed grace to me. Like, she was good to me. Like, we're still really good friends. Like, when everything popped off with my daughter, she was one of the first people that I called, you know, and explained to her, and she's just so smart. Like, Byron has a knack of picking out women, right? Like, he's a predator. I've said it before. Like, he's watching, he's looking, he's taking notes, he's looking for the flaw that he needs to choop in, he's looking for the pocket he needs so that he can turn himself into that. Like, there's a live where Camille mentions how, you know, she has locks, and when I was with Byron, he was bald. Going bald, been bald, shaving his head bald. And as he was going on to like woman after woman, we would not laugh, but I was like, of course he has locks, which are fake. Of course, right? Because Camille did. Of course he got his nose pierced because I did. You know what I mean? So it's just like those type of things. Of course he gets a hoop because Camille had a hoop. Like, so just all of those things. Because he just has no idea who he is. No matter how much he says, no matter how much he talks, no matter how much bullshit he spews, he has no idea who he is at all. He is not an individual. He does not know anything, like anything, right? Like he totally is a succubus. The person he's with is who he morphs into. Liking the same thing, dressing the same way, all that type of stuff. Music, TV, all that nonsense.
So is it trauma bonding? Yes, I would assume so. But at the same time, I believe these women decided to come together. They weren't always here. Millie and the wife that you just heard from, Samantha, they weren't always seeing eye to eye. Millie and Byron is the reason why Samantha has not seen her daughter in 2 years. However, when this viral video happened at the Tyler, the Creator concert, I can only assume that they all decided to come together as one to expose him, because he's still out here carrying on. He is still very much married on paper to Samantha. They're separated. They haven't been together for years. We're talking about a man, when Samantha came home one day from work, she had nothing left in the house that they were sharing except for some air mattresses and her son and her daughter's bedroom furniture. He took everything out of the house and moved. I believe that's when he got his own place, got him another victim, if that's what you want to call them. And the story continues. The saga continues. So she's going to tell more of her story as far as what happened with the daughter. Basically, what happened with the daughter, it seems like it was supposed to be a visit for Christmas, because remember, he moved out of the state. And she already said that she did not want to break up the relationship because her daughter wanted to very much be around her dad. They made some type of arrangement, I believe, for a holiday or something. Something happened. And whenever he took her, he never brought her back. And then I don't know what they did with the little girl. We have not gotten any information about what's going on down at that courthouse. But pretty much when he was with Millie, they ended up going to court. He ended up getting custody of the daughter in another state. They live in Georgia now, I believe. I don't know if Millie moved back to California yet or not. I'm not finished with the story. I'm trying to take my time, Pastor, because it is so much to unravel. Paige is the only one who, although she has to heal and although she's been hurt by this man, she does not have any children with him. So she sort of is a lucky one because she did not procreate with him. And that's because he told her he would never have a baby with her because she was crazy. So let's get into, we're going to go back to Paige. This is Sinbad, the one that's on the screen. This is his daughter. We're going to get back into her story time. We did it yesterday, but I have 2 different videos. She's animated, but now that you know that she's Sinbad's daughter, it makes sense. She is in the entertainment world. Okay, so
ultimately I ended up discovering Jesus Christ, how the fuck did we get here? Okay, I know why you're here, okay? Fine. Man, I have not done one of these in a while, but should be like riding a bike. Let's go. For those of you who have seen the Tyler, the Creator concert proposal video, which is far too many of you at this point, yes, I am heavy on the one of the many women who have a story about that man in the video. So I know all of you are here because you want the tea. I get it. Now I should warn you, this is not the video where I'm going to rehash every detail of my experience and my story with this individual, simply because I already did it. So if you want every detail, fresh, hot off the 2021 presses, baby, I am going to link the 4-part series that I already created about this, and you can go and get all the details, okay? In the meantime, you can consider this video just a live too long didn't read, all right? I want to start by saying something that I think is really important, because as myself and other women are either having to rehash this or being put in a position to share their stories for the first time publicly, I think it's really important that as you guys are receiving this information, as entertaining as it is and as piping hot as the tea may be, we are people, okay? And we are real people who went through a very traumatic experience. A lot of our experiences are similar, but they differ in some ways. But we went through a very traumatic experience. Some of us have been healing for years. Some of us have only been healing for months. But nonetheless, we have been fighting like hell to not just survive, but thrive on the other side of dealing with an individual such as this. So, be entertained. I'm not going to ask the internet to not be the internet, because that's just crazy. But could we also just maybe apply some kindness and compassion, and all those comments that you have about like, girl, if I would have known, yes, you probably would have done a lot of things differently if you were in my position or any of the other women's positions. But the point of the matter is you weren't. And so unless you walked in our shoes directly, please be kind. Please show compassion. And if all you have is judgment to share, I'm not saying you don't judge, just keep it to yourself. Write it in a journal. Talk to your therapist, your Jesus, or your mama, but keep it away from us, okay? We've been through enough. All right, here we go. In 2018, I met a man named Byron Hopkins, and a very quick forming crush turned into very quick, deep like, which turned into love, which turned into him being what I thought at the time was the love of my life. At the time, he was someone who, I swear to God, was everything I had hoped and prayed for in a partner. So when he asked me to marry him in August of 2019, I couldn't have said yes faster. We set a wedding date of September 2020. But as we all know, now in March of 2020, COVID hit and the world completely shut down. For context, just so you know, because of COVID, my family, we had all made a decision to quarantine together. My brother had just had his first kid, and so we didn't know how long we would end up being separated, so we all quarantined. So it was me and my fiance at the time, my mom and dad, and then my brother, his wife, and their newborn baby. What could possibly go wrong? Turns out everything. Basically, shit got real really fast, because at the end of the day, when you are a pathological, lying, narcissistic sociopath who moonlights as a con artist on the weekends, when the world gets small, it becomes very hard for you to be able to navigate in your usual conniving, devious ways. To be honest, it did not take long for me to start questioning if the man that I was getting ready to spend the rest of my life with was who he actually said he was. I will be honest about that. Things just weren't adding up. It just felt like he was dishonest now about everything, or at least I was now becoming aware of the dishonesty. I would question him about things that didn't make sense to me, and what would be, in my mind, a conversation for clarity would turn into these knockout, drag out fights. He became really mean, which for me was out of character at the time, because prior to this, I swear to God, I thought this man loved my dirty draws. Okay. Like, really did. Never thought he was perfect, but I definitely thought I was loved. He became emotionally and verbally abusive, and I would even dare say mentally. He became very physically intimidating, and I feel like that was intentional based off of information that he had about me and my past. I started to realize that vulnerabilities that I had shared with him, intimate things about myself that I had shared with him, he was now using against me like arsenal. And before you guys all say like, okay, well, if you're having these thoughts and things aren't adding up, why didn't you just leave? To be honest, at that same time, my dad suffered a really severe stroke, and we thought we were losing him. And if I'm being fully transparent, I just did not, how can I say it? One area of my life that meant the world to me was, at the time, I thought, being taken away and falling apart, which was my dad. And I truly just did not have the capacity and honestly, the bravery to allow myself to think through those hard conversations and those hard questions with me enough to have this part of my life that I also cared so much about fall apart as well. Fast forward a few months, and about 45 days before what is now our new wedding date, this man got on a plane, and that was the last time I ever saw him. He called me a couple days later and basically told me he did not want to marry me. Reasons he cited were I'm psychotic, I'm toxic, I am not someone who he would ever want to procreate and have children with. It was really demeaning, really devaluing, really just like fucking mean. At the time, what I did not know was that he was already about 3 to 4 months into a relationship with a new woman. And that is essentially what sent me down what I call my Nancy Drew spiral of just trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. And I was looking for answers. And boy, did I got him. Sure did. Okay, maybe this is going to be longer than I thought. Go to part 2.
So, of course, we have part 2. So, just in case you're lost, I'm going to go back to the beginning. And when I say the beginning, I'm going to play my intro again when it comes to this man, just in case you can't keep up. This is who we are talking about. This man just recently went viral because he is now proposing to his now girlfriend in 2025 at the Tyler, the Creator concert, and it went viral. And the women seen it and decided, oh, we got to step in. All right, so let's do that one more time.
I know the man in this video, and when I met him, he told me his name was Caleb.
Hey yo, I'm here to tell you, if you saw that viral video of that light-skinned nigga with them fake-ass dreads proposing to his lady at the Tyler, the Creator concert in Atlanta, yeah, that nigga's still married.
I am the engagement swindler's wife.
It's our daughter who's crying because she can't say goodbye to these women.
If I told you that I started out the beginning of this year engaged to who I thought was the love of my life, only to find out that he just announced that he's expecting a baby with the bitch that he cheated on me with.
Byron Hopkins has 7 children. So far, I only know about the one daughter that he has with the wife, Samantha. I only know about the son that he has with Camille. Baby, I don't know where the rest of the children are. I don't know where the rest of the children are, but he has seven kids. The number 5, 6, and 7. Okay. 5, 6, and 7. Yes. So Paige, which is Sinbad's daughter, and I keep saying that because it helps me realize this is why she has the personality, the performance, and all of the things. I'm not saying she's performing for us. This is just probably very much her personality and the way she does her content. She is a content creator. Camille is who he left her for, okay? Everything was going on during the pandemic when it comes to Camille and Paige. Now, the young lady that you see who is letting you know that the man in that video, she was a little masculine. I'm sorry, baby, you know you're a little masculine, but I don't mean no harm by it. That's the way I have to describe you so that the dolls know who I'm referring to. That called him the N-word with the or with the fake ass dreads is what she said. I don't think we are calling them dreads. Are we calling them locks? I want to make sure I'm correct with the with the lingo when it comes to all of that. She used to be his friend, so she knows all about him. I guess they fell out, and she's also exposing him. Okay. Yeah. Yes, she is. She's also exposing him. I believe she's the one that got this party started, and this is how this situation has been going down. We're going to get into part 2 of Paige, which Paige, baby, you dodged a bullet. All right. You dodged a bullet. Now we have Samantha, the first wife. We have Britt. I believe Britt. No. Samantha is not the first wife. She's the current wife. We have Britt, Paige, Vaughn, Camille, and somebody by the name of Unisa. I do not know the current girlfriend or fiance's name. I assume she's quiet for a reason, unless I didn't come across it yet. What happened is, let me see if I got the information on that. Samantha told us how that went down with, let me see here. Okay, Unisa is actually the second wife, and she has a daughter with him. I don't know where the daughter is, baby, or what's going on. Camille has the son, Paige, Samantha has the daughter, but Britt, one of these women he tried to marry one of these women. Now, I forgot which one it was. I'll talk about that whenever it's time. But he had to get an annulment because he was still married to someone else. Oh yeah, he's one of those. Hey, Nesto's son, Dion, you could never. Now this is really Nesto's son, okay? Of course, he wanted to relocate to Georgia because why y'all keep moving to Georgia, stinking up the state? Everybody wants to say down in the Georgia, they scamming, they doing this now, because a lot of you niggas is relocating down there, stinking up the state. Honey, come on now. Y'all down there stinking up the state. The people from Georgia, they're sick of it. If you from Georgia, let me know. Do y'all be scamming, or is it the people relocating down there to the Georgia, stinking up the state? Y'all let me know in the comments, baby. What's going on? Now we have Van is another one of the women. I don't think she came out yet on social media, but Samantha let us know, which Samantha is the current wife. They're separated, but they haven't been together for years. And he has their daughter, custody of their daughter. She said that Van was paying Byron's support up to $2,000. So she said she's only received about $2,000 in total for their, I believe the daughter is 12 or 13. Byron took her out of school as well. We're going to get into that another time, baby, because there's too many people to talk about. Let's get into part 2 of Paige. Let's go back to Paige, because once we get into part 2 of Paige, we're done with Paige. We already know where she stands. She was the fiance in 2020, and he left her for Camille. And she still, of course, she has to heal from all of this because she's on her journey to heal. But now that all of this has, happened and it's now, viral, she has to do it all over again. So I'm pretty sure she's triggered, but at the same time, as an outsider looking in, again, she dodged the bullet. So let's get into part 2.
Ultimately, I ended up discovering that he had 6 children, which, by the way, was not the number I was told. I was told I was single to 2. He had 6 children. He owed about 6 figures worth of child support debt. I was not the first, the second, the third, the fourth, nor the 5th woman. He had done some version of this too. And yes, he was still married. As you can imagine, I felt an array of feelings and emotions during that time and throughout my healing process throughout these years. But I can say that one of the most pressing feelings that I had and still sometimes feel was helpless. Not helpless because I'm not capable and I'm not able to take care of myself, but helpless in that now that I know what I know, I cannot, I cannot in good conscience just sit here and let this man do this again to another woman and another woman and another woman and another woman and another woman. But how do I stop him? The truth is, I can't. I can't stop him. Because for my own preservation, I needed to, over these last few years, prioritize myself, and I needed to prioritize my healing, which has not been easy. It has not been easy. With that though, I've always believed that there's power in your story. There's power in speaking your truth. And I figured I don't have control over him. I don't have control over the new person he's with, but I do own my story. And I'm gonna just tell it. I'm gonna tell my story, and regardless of the ridicule or the judgment that'll come, which there was so much, because a lot of y'all be on here and be so mean. Why are you so mean? We'll unpack that at another time. Despite all that shit, I was gonna tell my story. Because I thought maybe one day someone will see it, and maybe because they were given information that I would have killed to have, you know, they won't have to feel this. They won't have to go through this. So that's what I did. I told my story. Some people watched it, and I kept it pushing. Never in a million years did I think 4 years later we would be circling back. We would be spinning the block, if you will, all because he decided to propose to someone new in, again, another grandiose way, because that's also a pattern. That's what he does. My proposal was a flash mob. So this is a pattern. And I thought for a second, I'm not getting involved. I'm not going to say anything because I've already done that, right? I told my story. However, when I saw that video and I saw that woman, who I do not know, by the way, I have no idea who she is, a very foreign but intense feeling came over me, where I'm looking at someone who I do not know, but I am 100% certain on how your story ends if you do not get away from that man. I know exactly what will happen. I know exactly the level of pain, the level of despair, the level of heartache, not break, y'all, because heartbreak and heartache are two different things. The level of heartache she will experience, the confusion, the fear, the scars that even in your healing that you will have to continue to nurture for the rest of your life, the trauma that'll be induced, the process, the grit and the resilience and the fight that she will have to claw her way back to a version of herself that is recognizable, and to rebuild a life that he single-handedly, with every ounce of intention, set out to destroy. And I just felt like I could not look at that and just pretend I don't see it. I can't even say that this video is really just for her. I think this video is for any potential woman who will come across this person in their lifetime. He is not who he says he is. And I know he's charming, and I know he's funny, and I know he's thoughtful, and I know he's sweet and kind and gentle. And I know that he sees you in a way that you have never been seen before. I know. I know. But I also know none of it is real. He is not real. You are real. Your feelings are real, but he is not real. He is not real. His feelings for you are not real. You are a means to an end, like so many of us have been. And his only purpose is to suck as much life out of you as he possibly can until he has sucked the last drop out and moved on to the next one. I know that sounds dramatic, but I promise you that is who he is. He's diabolical. He's diabolical. He's not safe. He's a dangerous person. He is incapable of compassion and empathy. All the things that you think he is actually just you, boo. He is a great mirror, as most narcissists are. He is a great mirror. That light you see in him, it's yours. That joy you see in him, it's yours. That ambition, that drive, that's yours. That hope, that's yours. That's yours. It is not his. And I know the narrative. I'm crazy. I'm toxic. I get it. But at the end of the day, if I'm crazy, and the one before me was crazy, and the one before her was crazy, and then the one before her was crazy, and then the one after me was crazy, and then the ones all the way back to when he was 18, 19 years old, there you have to leave room for the possibility that we can't all just be crazy. Common denominator is him. We all are flawed, and we all have signs and saw signs and red flags that we chose for our own various reasons to ignore or not pay attention to, or we're just downright naively blind to. Okay, we all did, and we have all taken accountability. Because you have to. If you're truly going to heal, you have to take accountability for your stuff. We have all done that. But what we are not is crazy. What we are not is toxic. What we are not is just a bunch of women who are jealous that he left us. This is someone who saw the best in every single one of us and thought to themselves, not how can I love them better? How can I be a good steward of their heart? This is someone who said, how can I extract, exploit, and take all of it? Literally, all of it. For me personally, it has been years of rebuilding emotionally, financially, mentally, and I just feel like if me doing this, if me speaking up and the other women speaking up can help one woman, just even one woman, from not having to go through and experience what we have gone through, then baby, I will shout it from the rooftops, because I'm so sick and tired. I'm sick and tired that once a year, every year, like clockwork, y'all, it's my phone and there's another one. So he gonna have to prepare to be sick of me, baby. Because as long as I'm around and as long as I have breath in my lungs, I will make sure that every woman in every city, in every state, in every country, in every planet knows exactly who you really are. And that's a promise. So Beyonce's internets, do your thing, baby. Do your thing.
My honest opinion, my humble opinion, let me know if you can hear me before I start rambling, because I don't see my, maybe I have to do this. Oh yeah, my honest opinion is this. In order to help other women, in order to tell your story, you have to be healed in order to take those steps to help the others, because you don't want their stories and their situations to cloud to judge. You don't want that shit to interfere with what you got going on mentally. You have to be clear in the mind, body, your soul, however you want to spin it, baby, before you can help another woman. If you're not healed yourself, how can you help me? How can you help Sheila? You have to be healed first before you can help anybody else. Because what's going to happen is this: everything that you went through with him and you did not get, you're going to look at these stories and the pictures that they're sharing, the text messages that they're sharing. You may start to feel some type of way like, oh my God, he wasn't like that with me. Baby, you're not done healing. You're not done healing, honey bun. Okay? It can be healing, Stacy, that first twin. I'm not saying that they can't tell their story, baby. What I'm saying is, can they help somebody else if they're still healing? If I'm still healing because Nesto turned me inside out, for example, I can't help Sonia. I can't help Shirley. I got to continue healing by telling my story, but I can't help you because I'm still trying to help myself. You know what I mean? Can I handle everything that he's done with Sally, with Barbara, with Margaret? This is just me. Everybody's different, right? I just don't feel like I can help anybody if I'm still healing myself. And I feel like she's still not there yet, just as an outsider looking in. And I feel like right now she's giving people a shoulder that she's really not having she can't afford it right now, is what I'm trying to say. On the outside looking in, I don't think she can afford to help the others until she's finished with her journey of her own healing. We're talking about somebody you didn't spend time with. She met him in 2018. 2019, he proposed. 2020 was the test for your marriage, for your relationships, because a lot of people weren't home. A lot of people were home with their significant others, their boyfriends, their husbands, their wives, and you're like, oh my God, I really cannot stand this person. Like 2020 was really the ultimate, like, who is this in my house? Because a lot of people weren't working. A lot of people were working from home. There was a lot of time that was spent and you were like locked down because outside was closed. Stacy is saying that, just saying it can make things so real for them. It's just like the preacher, they preach to the people and themselves. I get that as well, Stacy, that first one. Yes, for sure. But she's very much, I guess I'm looking at how she's, listen, I can't imagine me telling my story and then everybody coming down hard on me, right? Although we do it here. I mean, if that's the case, then I need to check myself for how I come at Sonia or how I come at Shirley or how I come at the women who were dealing with Nesto, right? People are entitled to tell their story how they want to tell their story because you are in charge of your own healing, right? But at the same time, you can't expect people to go with you. Everybody's not going to agree with you. Everybody is not the same. Everybody has a different type when it comes to the type of man that you're looking for, the type of man you're going to entertain. When you see like a lame, or you see somebody like Nesto, or you see somebody like Billy Bob Thornton, whomever, you're going to compare that to what you would go for and what you went through. So unfortunately, the court of public opinion, they're going to say the things and they're going to ask the hard questions. So you have to make the decision when you tell your story, who's the audience, baby? Because when you get on social media, if you're not ready for that, then how are you going to tell your story and again heal? If you're not ready for all of that, if you decide to sit up here and go public with it, is all I'm saying. I don't think you're truly done until you have no emotional feeling. That's what that's how I feel about it, Extra AF. You're not done healing until you can look at that person as if it never happened. Those are my words. When you can look at that person, prime example, I cannot tell you enough how I feel about my daughter's father when it comes to how my daughter was created. I told you my daughter came out of the garden. Yeah, she was a seed. I planted the seed and she sprouted into a baby. Okay, that's how far removed, and not because I have some ill will towards him. I'm just no longer, I just no longer reside there. I no longer reside there. My baby came from the garden. Okay, that was a part of my life where I died in my past. I had to die in my past in order to be who I am right now for my present and in my future. But I get what Stacey is saying. At the same time, everybody is different. Everybody is different. But I just feel like we gotta be more careful. We gotta be more careful out here at the end of the day. And at the same time, I want to say this: we also may, we may. Now I'm gonna kick it back to Shirley. The whole question: well, what did she see in him? Just looking at this story alone, what did they see in this corny man? He's a cornball. And let me get into why I'm saying he's a cornball. You all have an amazing, thank you so much. I love the engagement. You all are hitting on some amazing talking points here. And Stacey, where you at, baby? When I do decide to tell my story, we'll have a good time in the chat, trust me. But let me go here to the cornball. This is the man that we're talking about, right? Now, in my opinion, again, everybody has their own type. Everybody has their own type. So, of course, he's not for you if this is not your type. But let's get into it. So this is the man that is, they're exposing Byron. This is Byron Hopkins right here, okay? As she said, he was going bald. Now he is running around with his lock extensions, okay? This is the fella right here. He got his little cute hat on, his little denim button up, okay? This is him here with his wife, Samantha, okay? Right here. Nice little cute family picture. Looks like they were down at the football field. Okay. This is Byron with Millie. You know, looks like a fun guy, but, you know, personality. Hey, Byron, you know, hey, I'm speaking. He's speaking at the Black Student Athlete Summit. Yeah, at the Summit Cypher. Yes, he is, baby. He's out here on this internet. Speaking to the people, speaking life into the people. You're in charge of what? Your life. Let's see. Let's get into him really quick. Okay.
You're never finding yourself. I don't like that either because you're with yourself 24/7. Where are you lost? You wake up with yourself. You go to sleep with yourself. Right. What you're doing right now is trying to figure out what sparks you, what gets you happy, what gets you excited. Think of something right now. What I would tell someone, think of something right now that gets you super excited. Like for me, it's photography and a couple other things. I enjoy it. It makes me happy. Don't worry about a dollar sign connected to it. Worry about what do I do that makes me so happy? And you go, you know what? I really enjoy doing X, Y, and Z. Now add like, what would a business be for that? As me as a person, what can I say? Like, I wish this was added to this and it's something I love. Oh, cool. You just figured out a problem. Now fix it. Don't ever come with a problem without a solution. The best thing right now is we have an abundance of knowledge at our fingertips, in our pocket, in our phone. Type it in on Google. Chat GPT is so big right now. So it's like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. Just to ask a question. Life starts with questions. Just ask a question and try to figure out the answer.
And then, you know, if you want to get down into, we want to be gutter about it. I'm going to share a post on TikTok. People's wondering, well, what's going on? Well, why are all the women going crazy and this, that, and the third? Well, they feel like obviously he has the personality. He has some fat. If you're into that style with the men's, the way he, you know, maybe they feel like he had the fashions. He definitely has a gift of gab. He's not bad looking. Is he my type? No, but he's not a bad looking man at all. And his tongue is long. And I said it. So there's that, okay? And he obviously knows how to lay pipe, all right? He honestly, obviously he knows how to lay pipe, okay? And I hate to take it there, but we have to be honest here. We're all grown, you know? We're all grown, okay? We are all grown. So His tongue is long. It is. I don't know if he had a little yeast on his tongue or not. I don't know. Did it look like it was coated? Let me see. I mean, because these are the things I think about. I don't know if he's scraping that tongue or not, but there's that. Okay, so he's a cornball. Let's get into some of the things he would post on his social media, on his Instagram. It's my birthday and I'm giving you a gift. The permission to celebrate yourself more. Studies show that people who acknowledge their wins, big and small, are 40% more motivated, 25% more likely to achieve success, and just overall happier. So why are we quick to downplay our progress? Like, we're talking about somebody, like you said, word salad, word soup, word vomit. This is what he's doing. And unfortunately, when you go doing your background research and you search his name on Google, these are all of the things that are popping up. So you think you're with this old positive guy and, oh God, I'm in love. And like I said, obviously he's laying the pipe right. Okay. His tongue is long. So obviously, hey, I'm just saying, we got to go there. If we're going to go there, he's not bad on the eyes, not my type, but he might be yours or somebody else or their type, Just a bunch of bullshit. Transparency moment. I used to put off so many things in the past simply because I wanted them to be perfect. I needed everything that was in my head to match what was going to be presented to everyone. I needed the perfect camera, the best microphone, and the best lighting money can buy. Not even mentioning I needed to study the algorithm and see what hashtags and keywords were perfect. Then I realized overthinking was just fear in disguise, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of success sometimes too. He has all the right things to say. It's a bunch of bullshit for those of us who grew up a certain way. I told y'all I'm street smart. Okay, so things like this, I won't fall for. Anything and any decision that I've made when it comes to a man, I didn't have to ignore the red flags. I willingly participated in the bullshit that I've been through. I knew I had no business being with these certain individuals. So I'm going to be a little harsh sometimes when I'm on the outside looking in, because I'm taking full accountability for the shit that has happened to me, because I knew I had no business being in those relationships from the gate. But that's not everybody's story. So I have to understand that. And I have to ease into certain people's situation before I start judging. So I'm well aware of that. That's not everybody's story or situation. I'm more than willing to admit that everything that I went through, I knew I had no business even being with that person. Okay. And that's just me. Like I said, accountability. I purchase it from Amazon on a daily basis. Baby, it's delivered to my front door every single day. Every single day, my accountability is delivered. I'm not going to sit up here and act like, oh, well, I ignored the red flags. No, I had no business being with that ninja at all. Okay. I love this. Yeah. I love this right here. I think most of us ignore the red flag, street smarts or not. We all have women intuition, and some of us lean into it, but most of us run from it at least once. Oh, yes, of course I've done that. See, I come from a land of delusion where I thought to myself that, oh, I can change him. Oh, God, he's in the streets. So let me change him. We can change him. We can change him. He'll be all right. He can change him. I'm a good woman. I'm a good girl. I'm not a whore. I'm just telling you, I'm giving you the 20-year-old version of me. I'm not a whore. I'm not out here all like that. I don't be running these streets all like that. Can't too many really talk about what I got going on in these panties. I'm not loose as a goose. I'm putting it in my own words here in 2025 for you. Oh, I can help him out. Oh, poor guy. Look at him selling the drugs. Oh, he's a thug. Let me see if I can change him for sure. You don't have to live this way. Take your money and invest and do this and do that. Girl, these are some niggas. These are niggas. And I'm going to say it for the third time because it's a Trump. That's a nigga. Girl, you need to be out here with a man. Okay? And that's just bottom line, right? Child, listen. And I should know better. I learned everything from my father. So I should know better. My father, who was a low down, dusted, dirty D dog, told me about men and told me not to settle for this, that, and the third. Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. That he's for another day, because that can write a damn book on his raggedy self. Hey, Dad, how you doing, honey? I ain't heard from you. You all right, sugar? Oh, I was a daddy's girl too at the same time, but I'm gonna keep it real. Don't matter if it's a parent or not. It doesn't matter if it is a parent or not. The only thing I did not do was give a man money. I never let anybody live up off of me, because again, I just was raised a certain way, you know, to not, hey, you gonna pay me. I'm not paying you. Gonna pay me. I'm not gonna pay you. You gonna pay me. I'm not gonna pay you. God damn it. I'm giving you a damn dime for nothing. Do you hear me? So that's the only thing I can say. I don't know about a homosexual. I just know of other people's stories with one, right? And I do believe that sometimes you can very much have a successful relationship with somebody that you have more than. I'm not saying that you cannot have there's not a success rate with helping out a man or a man helping out a woman. That's not what I'm saying. Everybody's story is different. What did somebody say about a Build-A-Bear? Raise your hand if you ever taken on a Build-A-Bear project. Well, yes, I have, because when you feel like you can change somebody, that is definitely a Build-A-Bear project for sure. Study shows that you trust but verify. Come on now, El Cid. Same here. That's why I love your channel, because I can see you are real and real. Oh, baby, I'm going to always be authentic. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm perfect Patty, or, you know, even if my relationship is ironclad. I told y'all, I don't really know if my turn signal is, you get what I'm saying? Listen, baby, when you backing up out of the damn driveway and the camera is showing you there's not a car coming, I'm going to still look to the back anyway, like the camera. You know what I mean? Like and maybe I shouldn't live that way. I need to ease up, but that's just me. That's just me. But enough about me, baby, because I'm here to talk about the people on the screen. Let me get this foolishness off my screen with all of his, jumble words and carrying on. But what I'm saying is, people like shiny things. So when you go and you research his name, y'all can do it right now. You go to your Google, you type in Byron Hopkins, you're going to get all of the good things. Okay. He has a footprint on the algorithm on that internet. So he could tell you whomever and whatever, and you're going to possibly fall for it if he's your type. If he's your type. El Cid, you and I both, you know, we have a similar story, El Cid. So I definitely got to wait for, you know what I mean? Hey, I don't want to say that because I'm not ready to say goodbye. But yeah, definitely that. Okay. Definitely that for sure. But so Paige dodged a bullet. She dodged a bullet. And while she's healing and helping these women, I'm praying that she is going to see this to the end for self, for her. I have nothing else to say about Paige unless we need to bring her up when it comes to Camille. Camille is actually the main character of this because she's the one with the TikTok part 1 through 567. She got a lot of parts, okay? She got a lot of parts. So where are we moving on with this right now? Hold on 1 second, you guys. Let me finish this little piece here at work. I need to save and exit this. Let me check and make sure I don't have any meetings, because this is, like I told y'all yesterday, this is going to be a long live, and we're not in the nitty gritty of it at all. We're not even, baby, Camille didn't even have the baby yet. Camille is not even pregnant yet. So we are into the thick of it. I believe yesterday we did parts 1 through 10. Did we do parts 1 to 10 on yesterday's live with Camille? Camille 2020 part 10. Yes, we got up to part 9. Now, some of you were impatient with Sister Camille. Some of you were impatient with Sister Camille, and I get it, right? I feel like, now, if I ever got up on here and decided to put somebody on blast or decided I wanted to tell my story, baby, it's very much going to go sort of like this. Hey, you guys, let me tell you some bullshit. So I met him in 1949. All right. But let me tell you what had happened. I'm not about to get into if we had raw sex the first time. I'm not about to get into the fact that I made him, what's that steak? The tomahawk? Is that what it's called? I don't eat beef, so please don't come for me. I made him lamb chops with fresh rosemary and asparagus. I didn't get into all of that. I'm gonna just get into how I got dogged out by Troy, and here's the timestamps, and this is what happened. I'm not giving you all of my details because I still have shame. And it's not about, well, there's your side, his side, and the truth. I don't give a damn about none of that. Let me tell you what had happened to me. And you don't need to know all of the details. So you got to be careful out here on this social media, because if you ain't built for it, then you don't need to share every damn thing. And moving forward, some people have to definitely think about what they're saying, watch it, and before you upload it, make the decision, maybe I should edit some of this out. Okay. Maybe I should edit some of this out. And this is why Penelope is tired of the 5011 TikToks about y'all poor decision-making skills and staying when you should have left. Just get to the point. Stop telling everybody that, hey, I get it, right? But if you can't handle the heat, then you got to be careful with what you done put in the kitchen, baby. Yes, we need the story so that we can talk about it, right? But if you know you can't handle it out here, baby, you got to be more careful. April B, I'm so sorry, baby. I'm rambling. I didn't even notice that you sent the doll a super sticker. Thank you so much, baby. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hugs and kisses to you, baby. Ooh, a shimmy and a shake, period. Let me get my razzle dazzle up here for you, baby. Almost my throat then went dry. Do I need a cough drop? Come in a little closer, baby, because you know I'm looking good, feeling good, and smelling good. And let me come over there and see what kind of sticker you sent me. Let me come over there to the YouTube streets, baby, and see what kind of sticker that you sent the doll. All right. What did the doll get? I'm going to tell the people thank you. Yes, I am, honey. Let me turn me down on this screen. Why can't I see my sticker? Bravo. Him's cute. I like him. Thank you so much again, baby doll. So we're going to get into pretty much what I want to do is I want to get into what everybody else is saying about this so that we can focus on Camille, because like I said, it's a lot. It is a lot. And I got to go back over here to my gossip section. Give me a second, y'all. So now we're going to get into Samantha. And did I just put the same damn video? Oh my goodness. I think I did. Let me see.
Okay, so boom.
Yeah, I didn't took the wrong damn video. Hold on, y'all. God damn it, Samantha. I didn't fucked up the church's money. Let me see. Hold on, y'all.
It is me. I wanted to come on here and talk a little.
Okay, Samantha. Okay, I didn't realize that video was like 20 something minutes. We'll have to do Samantha tomorrow. Yeah, we'll have to do that tomorrow. We'll bring Samantha back tomorrow. So let me get into Camille. Now I'm going to summarize because I know Camille wore y'all out. Camille, baby, I'm sorry. You know you were long in the wind, but this is your first time doing something like this, so I understand. You know, baby, Camille gonna tell us that they didn't went down there and had chicken, rice, and gravy with the cornbread, and she really didn't like the cornbread because she felt like the cornbread didn't have enough butter, and then she gonna tell you the stupid shit that he did. That's just her way of storytelling, and then she's gonna hit you with the and then pause. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some of the notes that I wrote down from the parts 10 through, I believe, 12. And then part 12, let me see, when part 12 is when she feels like the story does get a little dark and scary based off of her experience. So she's letting us know in part 10, she gave him the money for down payment on a BMW because she said her man can't ride a scooter. Let me get a picture up here so you know exactly who we are talking about, baby. She said her man can't ride no scooter, honey. No, he cannot. Where's he at? Let me get them up here, the couple here. There they are. She said that her man can't ride no scooter, okay? So she gave him the money to get a black 325i. It was a 2016, but she did question his choice of car because she said, wouldn't you need like an SUV? Because she knew about how many kids he had. Like, baby, you trying to get this baby, you don't need a full-size car. It's looking like you need an SUV, okay? So basically, she's letting us know she didn't see the manipulation. She fell in love fast, unprotected sex. He lied about her name originally because he was engaged to Paige, which is Sinbad's daughter. So he did not want all of that to come up when they first started to date. All right. So what she realized was when he got that BMW, she wondered why he was so excited. Because remember, in the beginning, if you were here yesterday, she said that he had an Audi. So she didn't understand why he was so excited when he got this 2016 BMW. Because she's like, that's a red flag. And she started to think to herself, oh, he didn't own that car. Okay, he didn't own that car. So iPhone messages between Millie and Byron, the messages would be in green bubble. So it was a green bubble, meaning his iMessage was turned off. So she told her mom about it, and she said her mom even he told her this. My mom asked me the same thing. He has to take his phone to Apple to see what's going on with it. Okay. Well, when he gave her his real phone number, after he exposed himself, letting her know why he gave her a fake name, that's when the bubbles became blue. Chocolate, I agree. I see your comment, baby, and I agree. I'm trying to keep it cute, but I agree. He is a little fancy, if you will, baby. I'm sorry, he's giving fancy, but I understand everybody has a different type. I like them a little rough around the edges. That's just me. I like a rough around the edges type of man. I don't like, we ain't gonna both be in the mirror. I don't want you, we don't both need to be in the mirror. That's just my type though. So she did question if he was using a number from an app. Okay. Of course, he denied that. So when he moved into this apartment after he left Paige, he moved in with his best friend. Okay. And this is a mutual friend of Paige as well. And he didn't have many friends, she said. So super tiny apartment. He's in this apartment with his best friend. It's a male. And she said there were weird circumstances mentioned, and she didn't know what he meant. So when he met her, he said, sorry to meet you under these weird circumstances. Remember, he's a mutual friend of Paige. And she assumed he met the living situation with Paige because of the quarantine with her family. Remember, this is Sinbad's, the comedian, daughter. So now we're going to fast forward at the apartment. He is over he's 6'5". So he's tall. You know, women love a tall man, honey. So he's tall. And she said all of a sudden he starts jumping up and down all over his bed, yelling, let's have a baby, let's have a baby. She said she thought to herself, this is weird and childish. And she said the best friend, the male best friend, was in the living room and he's on the couch and he was looking like, what the hell is going on? But then at the same time, the best friend is looking like a light bulb went off in his head. So she said he also got on all fours with his tongue hanging out. And this is after the 3rd month of them being together. Now, you could see in the video that I shared with you earlier, he's very much animated. I can see why he worked with Paige. The animation is on high. I'm annoyed. I don't like that type of animation coming from a human. Please don't do too much around me. I'm tired, and baby, you're just doing too much. I don't know if I got to pop an iron pill or not. Settle down, simmer down. So she said he's on all fours, tongue hanging out. This is the 3rd month after them being together. So she finds out that the best friend is actually getting married, and Byron planned their bachelor party for the friend. And, you know, they did the zip lining, and it wasn't a wild type of party. Now, the reason why we're mentioning, you know, the party that was planned for the best friend is the fiance, Brian, tells them that they're uninvited to the wedding because the friend's fiance doesn't like Byron. Byron said it's because of jealousy and that they're no longer friends. And the business that he had with this friend, that friend took his name off of the business, filed the proper paperwork, sent it to him, and that was it. Millie thought something was off with that, so she contacted the best friend. And oh yeah, Byron was also supposed to be the wedding photographer, because not only is he an actor in a film, what is he, a producer, he's also a photographer. So he said that she said she called his best friend to see, well, why are we uninvited to the wedding? And the best friend said, sorry, I had to retract the invitation. He let her know that she was a good woman and said, out of respect for my wife, don't contact me anymore. The only thing I can assume is, baby, you can't come to my wedding and bring this new woman when I'm friends with Paige. That's the only thing I can assume, but we don't know what happened after that. And like I told y'all, when you have these friends, when you're in a relationship and the loyalty is on the side of the person, say I'm married to Tom, and Tom, I met Tom's mom, Tom's best friend. That best friend doesn't owe me any loyalty. His loyalty is with Tom. That's just my personal opinion. So the friend didn't give her an explanation. She's trying to figure things out, like, where are his friends at? Why doesn't he have any friends? Now, we do know about PK Mackey. And that's the, I'm sorry, baby, to describe you like that, but she's the one with the deep voice, a little masculine, if you will, that's saying that the nigga in the video at the concert is a fraud and still married. That's PK Mackey. That's his friend. Obviously, they fell out because I think she's the reason why this is viral and why everybody's exposing him. Okay, so we're going to get into her part 12. I did take the time out to save these videos and try to edit them to the best of my ability so that you can handle it, because again, Millie, you know, baby, you know, the people telling you in the comments, sugar, no shade, I was rough on you in my first live. I decided to have a change of heart, sugar. I did. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. I have to actually go into my own content in order to do so, because it got a little long and it was just easier for me to just upload it to YouTube and put the video on private. So just bear with me really quick while I get that up. And then after that, we're going to get on out of here, honey. We ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing else to give you after that. And then we'll get into a part 3. This is going to be a long type of series ordeal. We're late, honey. The tea, I don't think the tea is still old because they're still uploading and talking about it. Some characters have yet to be unlocked when it comes to this. So give me a second to go into my, how do I unlock? I got to unlock some things in order to, let me go into my content, because I do have that video on private. So that's going to be a problem. Okay. Content, videos, Camille. Let's make this unlisted. Save. Okay. And let me click on this. Hold on, y'all. I'm still trying. Honey, hey, be patient. And please hit the like button, sugars. I really, baby, if you don't do nothing else for the doll, please hit the like button, because I really need to get into the algorithm. I really need to get into the algorithm of other things. So if you're catching a replay, baby, hit that like button for your girl. I truly appreciate you. And make sure when you catch the replay that you comment down below so that we can get this algorithm changed up and get some new dolls. We might make some new doll babies, right? Y'all don't want no new dolls at the dollhouse, or y'all being stubborn? So let's get into my video. I'm not talking in this video. This is going to be part 12 through, I think 16. Is that part 12 through 16? Yes, part 12 through 16. And then we're going to end on that. We about them scammers and juicy yeah, period. We ain't just about Nesto over here. Liked and sliding back to hear it all. Thank you so much, Dawn. SC Diva 803 all lay. Hello, babies. How you doing? Let me get him off the screen with his silly self out here just doing the most. All right, share my screen. Now, I can't give my own self a copyright. This is my video that I'm sharing. I can, parts 12. Okay. Let me share. And let me see what y'all can see over here. I need to bump that up. Do I need to put closed caption? No, her closed caption is already on. Okay, it's going to take a while to come up. Bear with me while we get this up, honey. And I did get into the doll that sent me this little clip and let her know that she got me caught. And I still got another clip that somebody sent me from something else that I still need to do a live on. That story is a little like, yikes. I told y'all about that already. We're still going to do that as well. I think I might just do a pre-recorded on that and just throw that out there just for the sake of the algorithm and not do a live. But I would really love to see what you guys have to say. So maybe I'll do a premiere live with that. Baby, we're still waiting for this file to load. I want to get from out of the bar. It's too early, baby. We need like eggs, a little, you know what I mean? Some avocado, a smoothie. We don't need to be drinking this early. Whew, yeah, we do not need to be drinking. Let's go get the couch, honey. We need to be on the couch with all of this. Is it going to come up any day now? What's going on? Any day now. I don't have all day, computer. We can meet new people, but we have to be careful because I don't like people. It's just a Scorpio. All right, so let's get into it, baby. Let me hit the play button so you can hear it. Let me know if you can hear the audio.
Is out of the picture now. Completely out of the picture. And so now I was taking care of my goddaughter was living with me, and I was taking care of her, and so he didn't like her. He did not. He didn't like her. She's a teenager, but like, God, how old was she at the time? I don't know, 12, 13. And he did not like her, and he definitely wanted her out of the picture. He would complain, saying that she was side-eyeing him, that she was rude, that he, if he was talking to her, that she wouldn't respond. And, she's sassy. So some of the stuff that he said, I'm like, I could see like her doing that. But I should have known, because when I asked her, she made this face. Like, I could tell when she's lying, and then you can tell when she's not lying. And she just made this face like, what? Almost like, when did I do that? She's like, I always talk to him. Anywho, he wanted her out of the picture because what do you think he was trying to do? He was trying to move in with me. And I told him, I'm not moving. Like, I've never lived with a man before. Byron was my first, like, serious relationship as an adult. I have never been with anybody this long. I haven't. I've always been kind of picky. Obviously not picky enough, but picky and like, next. Like, this person just is looking for a good time, or this person is lying. Even though he was lying to me the whole time, I don't know why I felt like it had nothing to do with me, but everything to do with him. And like, he was trying to protect himself for something, because he was talking about his trauma. So then he gives you like this whole story.
You want to know why I grew with this? You know who she reminds me of? I love the series Girlfriends, and she reminds me of Tracy. What was her darn name? I'm sorry, y'all. I just lost it. It was on the tip of my tongue. If you watch Girlfriends, Who does she remind you of when she's talking? And I'm going to just let it play now. Yes, Joan. She reminds me of Joan. So, you know, as I continue to listen to her story, she definitely reminds me of Joan for sure. Just, you know, her voice, the way she talks, just, you know, her seeing the good in people when you know they're rotten. And I know that is not a shoot, you know, we're talking about a television show. It wasn't a reality show, right? But you get what I'm saying. It's given Joan for sure. Definitely given Joan. All right, so let's continue. I'm going to actually let this play through and work in the background. So here you go.
About his traumatic life, and I'm not going to, I don't know how much I can speak on. He's a motivational speaker. Have y'all found his page on Instagram yet? Byron, have they found your page on Instagram yet? And how you're a motivational speaker to children? Have they found it? Y'all.
No, we didn't find it because he shut it down, Camille. I did find it, but he no longer has it. I don't know if he deactivated it or if he is on an hiatus, baby, but he took his Instagram down. And just so you know, on his website and on his Instagram page, Samantha lets us know, even on his dating apps, that he includes a picture with his daughter, because he's definitely doing the whole, you know, I'm a single father type of story with people who come across his profile. Okay. So here you go.
Please let me know in the comments. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. So anywho, yeah, he did not like her. He wanted her out of the picture because he wanted to move in with me. So he goes, I want to marry you. I know you're the one for me. You are the perfect woman for me, the perfect person. You make me feel safe. And I'm very protective, extremely. I'm the oldest of 4 kids. Like, I'm very protective, just how I am. So as soon as he said that, like, you make me feel safe, I'm like, oh my God, like, I have to make, like, again, it's manipulation. Automatically, I went into that protective mama bear mode. I defended him a lot. Yeah. So as soon as he said he wanted to marry me, I was like, well, then, I mean, you have to move in, because there's no way I'm going to marry you and not know who you are. And at this.
Now, again, I told y'all I was rough on her yesterday. It takes so much courage. It takes so much courage to be honest when you're telling your story, even if it makes you look like a damn fool. I can just tell she's so nice as far as the vibe. The vibe, you know, the vibe is giving somebody who's going to have a good time, and she's just just looks like she's easy to manipulate. I have to say it again. She looks like she's easy to manipulate just based off of what she's showing us while telling her story, right? But we've all been naive. We've all been naive, but unfortunately, I just have to say this, baby, because of your storytelling and the type of, you know, court of public opinion. We're going to ask the hard questions, and we're going to also judge. We're just, the people are going to judge. You're going to get the bullshit in the comments. Focus on what's positive and not negative. That's the only thing I can tell you, sugar. Focus on the positivity and don't focus on the negativity, and just continue to do you, because we are still listening.
This time, yeah, I'm still 35. Yeah, I'm still 35. So I was like, yes, okay, you're going to have to move in. You're just going to have to move in. So he was really like pushing like, oh, well, when is she going to move out? So I decided that I couldn't do it because her and I were having like, she was going through some things and it was a little too much for me to handle. So he was like really pushing like, oh, when is she going to move out? And then he would say little things like, her family's just using you. They just want They just want you for your money. Like, he was telling me all this crazy stuff. I'm like, no, I'm the one that said I wanted to take her and wanted her to move in with me. And, you know, but he would just be planting little things, just, and he'll keep saying it to where you just kind of give in, you know, like you're tired of hearing it constantly. So you just give in.
For the sugars that aren't sure what's going on, because I'm looking at your comments, Penelope, and you said, wait, she was 35. This is not a story time based off of something that happened a long time ago, you guys. This is very current. The child that she shares with him, he is only 2. He is just 2. Remember, she met him during the pandemic. That was 2020. We are only in 2025. They have a 2-year-old. So this is very, very new considering. This is no different than all the shit and the shenanigans that Nestor was doing back in 2020 with the teacher, with the real estate, with Sonia, with Shirley. This is not a story that they are telling as a blast from the past. I believe he is 40. I believe he's 40. He's not the same age as her. Based off of that post that I shared with you guys, let me go back to that, where he was telling y'all about the birthday. Let me see here. Where's that birthday post? It's my birthday. Let me see who. I don't know. There was something I was looking at, and he's 40 years old. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. It's my birthday, and it's the big 40, so I'll share some jewels. If I go back and tell my younger self anything, these 10 lessons would be: don't wait 40 years to learn them. Read these twice. Save this. Share this. Tag someone who needs to hear this. So he's 40 years old. All right, just to give you a little bit of, feedback.
So, yeah, so she ended up moving out. He moved in because he wants to marry me. I'm the one. Everything that I wanted. And I am the one for him. And he wants to marry me. So yes, we are going to be living together. So I can figure out, like, is this it? So I'm not that dumb. He still had his apartment. So I'm like, well, okay, so if this doesn't work out, at least he still has his apartment. So I'm the one that figured out, like, okay, how do we get you to not have to pay for your apartment? We're going to put it on VRBO. So we really fixed it up. He took his little professional pictures and we put it on VRBO, and we made sure that thing was rented out every single month. Even if he didn't make any profit, I'm like, if you don't make any profit, whatever, as long as you're not paying the rent. And then I told him, because, we're talking about finances, and I'm like, okay, how much debt do you have? He said he had only had 40,000. I'm like, okay, well, I got way more than that. So, because I don't know how to set, I've been in business for 10 years. This is my 10th year in business. And building business credit was, like, super confusing to me. And so a lot of my personal stuff is, like, tied into my business. So anyways, I got debt. So, but I would be able to pay off majority of my debt within 6 months. If he paid all the bills, I could pay off my debt in 6 months. So majority of it. So I was like, okay, well, you don't have to pay me rent for a year. Yeah, I know, guys. I'm so nice. I'm just so nice and caring. And, like, I was like, in it. We're a team. He told us that we're a team. And I when I would say I, he was like, no, not I, we. And then we had our own email address. We were the Hopkins. And he's saying I'm Mrs. Hopkins, even though we're not married yet. And he didn't propose yet. So, and we also had this BCH legacy, because both of our last names, same initial.
Now, I know sometimes when you call into Penelope, baby, I understand, honey bun, if you can't do it, sugar. That's fine. You can catch us on another one, sugar. Listen, I know some of y'all are annoyed. I promise after part 12 is when I start to edit her videos. So I cut off a little bit of the, some of the quirky things that you may not care for. But it's up to you, baby doll. Listen, you all. Samantha is the current wife, but they've been separated for years. They're just not divorced on paper. Okay. So yeah, you're just not divorced on paper yet. So if you're just now getting in, I'm going to play this. Now, after this, you guys can definitely catch the replay. But let me just play you the intro really quick again if you're just now coming in so that you can see where we're from. And then I promise, I keep saying this, I'm just going to let her videos play. All right. So let's get that intro really quick.
I know the man in this video. And when I met him, he told me his name was Caleb.
Hey yo, I'm here to tell you, if you saw that viral video of that light-skinned nigga with them fake-ass dreads proposing to his lady at the Tyler, the Creator concert in Atlanta, yeah, that nigga's still married.
I am the engagement swindler's wife.
It's our daughter who's crying because she can't say goodbye to these women.
If I told you that I started out the beginning of this year engaged to who I thought was the love of my life, only to find out that he just announced that he's expecting a baby with the bitch that he cheated on me with.
And so B, Byron, Camille, H, Legacy, okay? Like he really got her email addresses. And then he goes, we should have a shared account so that we can pay our bills through that. We can pay the bills through that if we have a shared account. And I'm like, how about I add you to one of my accounts? Because I wasn't that stupid. I was not about to add him to my main account. So I added him to like a credit union that I had that I literally only used to like put my like some savings in, or like when I wanted to go on like a trip, I would like put money away on the side. And so that's what we would use that account to pay the bills out of. Obviously we're having like basic conversations before he even moved into my house. Let me backtrack a little bit. And I had asked him, well, okay, so when we found out about Paige and how he was engaged to her, my mom was doing her research. And so he wiped her off his social media, but she didn't wipe him off of hers. So, and then she was telling her story on her TikTok. So, my mom was following her the whole time, her whole journey, and getting very emotionally involved. And again, I didn't want to see any of it. I didn't. I wanted to stay in the dark. I didn't want to see any of it because he already explained everything to me. So I didn't want to see any of it. And so she was impressed by his engagement, how he did a flash mob, his proposal, how he did a flash mob proposal. And I'm like, Mom, I don't want to hear any of this stuff. I don't want to know how he proposed to her or how nice her ring was. And so she was trying to line up the timeline with what he told me. So she's lining up the timeline based on what he was telling me and based on what was on her page and her story. So, and for my mom, it wasn't adding up. She didn't like him. And I heard Paige's mama didn't like him either. So, my mom's definitely worried. I know she is. I know she's worried, but I'm just, what does she say? If you choose to put your head in the sand, that's what I did. Anywho, I would ask him, because he told me he went to UCLA. He said he went to UCLA or USC. And I think it's USC, because USC is by Felix. You guys, I think Felix the cat, the car dealership, I think that's USC. So that's where he told me he went to college. And I'm like, wow, like, when did you have time to do that? Because he also went to film school. So I was like impressed. I'm like, dang, like, how did you go to USC and you were living in Colorado and you were in the military and you went to film school? Like, and you had one kid. Told me he just had two kids. He had an older son and then he had his daughter, and that was it. So I was trying to figure it out. And he also put that on his LinkedIn profile that he had went to USC. I think I have a screenshot of that. I will find it because it's not on there anymore. Goes, oh, well, I went online. I graduated from USC online. So I was thinking like maybe he took like a business certificate program, you know, some program or something that you could do it online. I mean, I don't know. Okay. Because who would lie about that? Like, why would you lie about school? That didn't make sense to me. So he went to film school. In 2016, he moved from Colorado to California. And so he left his wife, Samantha. Hey, girl. She may comment. You may see her comments on here. But he left his wife, Samantha, and moved out to California. And the way he did that was she comes home one day and her furniture is gone. Yes, gone. He rented an apartment in Colorado. He rented an apartment, got a U-Haul truck, and took her furniture. Took the furniture, left the kids' stuff. I think she told me that furniture, she's gonna have to correct me, but I think she told me that furniture, they were paying on it still. And so he took it. I guess it was new furniture. Maybe he talked her into buying new furniture, knowing that he was gonna get a new apartment, and that way we'd have new stuff. That would be typical of him, to correct me. So anyways, and then she's co-signed on a car for him twice. So this is the second car. The other one, I can't remember what happened. I think it also got repossessed or something. I'm not sure. But the second car was like a Honda or something like that. And so, you know, that's the car that he was driving. So she said that she would take the kids over there only maybe twice. He told me that he was feeding the kids because I was like, you moved? Like, he was like, yeah, we separated. She didn't know they were separated. But he was like, yeah, we separated. And, you know, I would take the kids, take care of them and stuff at my house. And she told me that wasn't true. And she said he would not feed them. He had no food in his refrigerator. When I met him, he had no food in his fridge. And I was like ordering groceries at Walmart and sending it to his house at his apartment because he had enough just to pay for his rent and he didn't have enough to buy like food. So I was sending like grocery orders to his house. So anywho, so she said she would always have to feed the kids before she dropped them off. All of a sudden he was gone. He was only at that place for 2 months because he got evicted. He got evicted because he couldn't pay he didn't pay the rent. So he got evicted and he took the car and drove it to California. And he ended up not even paying on that car. So that car ended up being in default and she couldn't afford, she was struggling. Like she was taking care of 4 people. Like they didn't let him re-enlist into the military. That's a whole nother story. And so he took the car and I guess he told me that he found something where he stayed at a house full of boys and all he had to do was drive them around and he was able to stay there for free. But then like not too long after, he met Van. We're gonna call her Van. She gave me permission to tell part of her story. He met Van and I guess her lease was up or coming up and he talked her into moving in with him. And so Van is absolutely gorgeous, curvy. And she was like down. She was helping him. He went to film school. She helped him get a job after film school. So she acted like she was his agent and she helped him get a job. He was helping her pay rent because he got like a disability check from the military. So he was helping her pay rent. So this job that she helped him get was how he met Paige. So while he's with Van, you know, was dating Paige. And so at this time, the car's in default. And Sam doesn't know like where the car is. They want to know where the car is. She's like, I don't know where the car is. He drove it to California. So he ordered a pizza on her Papa John's account and put in his address. And so that's how she found out where he was. And she told people and they went and got the car. So he comes out and the car is gone. He tells Van, my car got stolen. She had an extra car. So he never was without a car. He ended up driving her extra car. Again, this is like, it's not my story. So this may not be all 100% accurate as far as the timeline for stuff, but this is roundabout what happened. So she has a tracker on the car. And Van noticed that he was constantly like at this address and he was at it often. This is after film school. So I'm like, you didn't like go down there? She's like, no, I just thought he was working. Like, I didn't know. And so the address was Paige's address. Okay, so we have a joint account. We're going back to me. That was a little bit about that. We know that he was cheating on Van